got a break coming up. Okay, folks, welcome to Meticulous Talks, the morning of September 17th. I am Chris Courts.
And I'm solving problems.
And we've got kind of a bit of a intercal, I guess you could say, week, intermission, whatever, and in between.
Intermitted.
Yes, that's the one. We had our interview with Hugo last time around, and we're gearing up for our sort of OCR review, which is going to be next episode. So, in the meantime, we've started our main tier list like a month ago or a month and a half ago at this point, and
yeah, it was another time when things were a bit quiet. We did the Block 1 mains.
Yes. And we really ought to finish that before we forget about it. So
yes, especially as another block starting soon.
That's true.
And may as well get all this done now, and then we can, whenever the next block gets finished, do theirs.
Yeah. Still no. I'm paying attention to Reddit, not to Twitter. Right? Still no information about what exactly Sequester is going to have for us,
but I feel like it's going to be before Christmas.
Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable bet. Gotta nab that holiday shopping season for your cars, right?
Pretty much. That's the idea. Like, it's near Christmas, and part of the sales being random kids wanting things with horses on. Having that be able to be plastered everywhere after the movies come up and near Christmas is very good.
Apparently there's an echo on my mic. Because obviously...
Hey, at least it isn't while we're interviewing someone important. ...
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you for showing up, by the way, people. I know I didn't actually advertise the stream on Reddit this time around, because I kind of hope that the fact that we're on every 2 weeks all the time would just, sink in with people eventually. All right, let me try that. Okay, switch the audio device in OBS. Is that helping? Yay, nay?
Well, I've never heard the echoing whenever it's going on the stream. That's the thing.
Yeah, I understand that.
Still echoing.
Running the usual microphone setup. We are coming through. Could you say something, Solving?
Hello.
Yeah, you're coming through my headphones, so it's not a.
And to be fair, I'm also wearing headphones, so it's not like you'll be echoing through my audio.
Yeah, you're fine. Which is strange. Usually it's you who has the echo, not me. Oh, wait a second.
Oh?
Let me try this. Is it good now? Echo, 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 echo.
Don't say echo, it'll sound like you're echoing.
I just removed like one of our sources on. No echo. Haha!
Hey, okay.
That's why you don't have the microphone on twice in OBS. That might cause problems.
You did that?
Well, see, like,
oops.
It seems to me like OBS, the mic is in by default, and then I added it anyway just because I want to make sure that I'm getting my mic in this scene. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think it was actually set up that way for our Bugle interview, but I had one of them muted or something, so it
who knows?
Just didn't even notice. But
well, at least it's working now.
We've got help from our resident audio technician here, and for Bugle. We really ought to give you a credit on the stream for helping us sort out all this stuff. So, notwithstanding, Block 2 is a little bit smaller than Block 1, I think, right? It's not, well...
They went a little less crazy on mains as far as I remember.
There's just like,
well, except for in Equestrian Odysseys.
Yeah, Odysseys had a whole bunch.
They went crazy in Odysseys, and then it was kind of a little calmer from then on.
Which, to be frank, is kind of a better way to do. Like, of course, when they did premiere, they didn't know that they were going to do blocks, but
they're going to create block systems because they were just starting the game. But when you have a block system in mind, sort of setting color identity mains early
is better,
and then sort of just adding to the color pie for the block from that point on seems better than just constantly dumping mains.
Totally, yeah.
But you can't blame Block 1 for it. It was trying to create the game's identity in general.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's got to drop a lot of mains everywhere.
Yeah. Got the list up here ready to go, so let's get right to it. Now, if I recall correctly, I was watching our original main tier list stream, and the way that it worked was we had like tier 1 for stuff that's good.
Tier 1.
Yeah. Tier 2 for stuff that's like you wouldn't be surprised if it became good later, or it's just kind of lurking beneath the surface now.
Yeah.
Tier 3 was like
and
good.
You wouldn't be surprised if you lost to it.
Yeah.
Was the sort of classification I think it was.
Yeah. And then we had tier 3 for like this thing is functionally good, it's reasonable but not.
But it just doesn't have anything.
Yeah. And then anything less than that was just garbage, I believe.
Garbage tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And then there was the odd 1.5.
Yeah, but basically for when we
thought it was fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's jump straight in. Now, obviously, all of these are just by nature of Block 2. They're going to be more prevalent than the stuff we looked at last time. Obviously, Ambassador of Loyalty shows up as, well, she was a farming main for a long time. I think that's...
Yes, a mono blue farming because she always had 5 rather than needing to earn 5, which admittedly isn't that bad. And could help you race the orange ones.
Yeah. I'm actually...
Especially with the movement for 0. Like, can't really complain about moving it for 0.
Yeah, and you get all those beautiful hasty cards in blue that are so very helpful.
Mainly Thunderlane.
Yep. Well, once he showed up, Marks in Time was... I think that Marks in Time was kind of One Punch Mayor's time. It was...
Yes. It gave the deck a lot of tools. I can't remember all of them, but...
I mean, Thunderlane was the only one that was ever really needed, so...
Thunderlane was the one that sort of brought it up and into sort of the precipice of being good. Like, really good.
Yeah. Now... You don't, or at least lately, I haven't seen the deck all that much lately.
No, I think the sort of orange farming decks are just kind of doing better.
Starting problem, which I don't remember enough about One Punch Man to remember what its starting problem was.
Probably trading traditions.
No, the deck only ran one color. It's not going to run TT.
It's a joke.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. Let me just take a quick look here. So it was in Marks in Time. Let me just duplicate this tab. No, it was a starting problem, right?
Probably a colorless one, because pretty much all the starting problems have been colorless in the newer sets.
I see. Google points out for us that basically pink is just replaced it for now. It's the basic idea. Which is fair to say.
It relies on friends a bit more than the other one, than the other versions of the deck.
Yeah.
So when you just go cool and they're all gone, it just kind of gets sad.
Yeah, but certainly like
so I'd I'd say you could put this at 1.5 right now.
Oh, totally.
Because I feel like if the meta shifts at all, it could go back to being 1.
Yeah.
But if the meta keeps as it is, it's kind of 2. So 1.5 is probably a good spot for it.
Yeah. Pink would kind of have to lose.
Yeah, I thought so. Second chance is just really good because if you go second, you get that token that you just kind of
right.
lose.
Yeah, of course.
As soon as I saw second chance, I was like, maybe. I don't know. E-Bugle probably knows.
Right. But yeah, we kind of need Pink to fall out of favor a little bit for Dash to kind of rise up again. But she's definitely there. Like the deck itself hasn't gotten really worse.
The deck exists. It just doesn't suit the meta game as it is right now.
Yeah. Excuse me. So yeah, I think 1.5 is pretty honest. Let's make sure my tabs are working here. Speaking of, I was gonna say speaking of honesty because orange always comes after blue, but apparently Phonyhead has Changeling Pretender next.
It's because it can be blue.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. It's another one you see time to time.
All the time.
Yeah. Kind of a versatile. Man, although...
Yeah, because of the fact that if your opponent boosts their main, you have 2 colors. Like, that's this card's ability.
Yep.
Ignore the fact that it gains your opponent's ability. This card's ability is when it's boosted, it has 2 colors.
That's definitely true.
Kind of like the Twilight, but, more versatile because it gains your opponent's stuff, which is whatever.
Here we were in Odysseys, and this was basically Trading Traditions, but not quite.
Yeah. Trading Traditions has obviously made this card a lot less favorable, but I wouldn't say it's bad, and I don't think it's ever going to be bad. And you can very easily rock up with this as your main, and people will still be like, do I actually flip my main?
I mean, I think...
The age-old question when you're against this main.
Yeah.
And basically, the way I've built a deck around her is, I punish you either way.
Well, I mean, yeah, if the opponent's not flipping their main.
It's my pink-white control. If you don't flip your main, I party of one you, and there you go. You can't play cards anymore. But if you do flip your main, I can party of one and play my entire deck list, no matter what, pretty much.
Yep.
So it's like a bit of a push and pull. Like, it's a very easy to design around card where the thing you have to think of is basically build a deck that can punish them if they don't flip their main, and thus you don't flip yours, or if they do.
Yeah. The one thing that I suppose limits this card a little bit from becoming really, really mainstream is that the mirror match is sad for both players. Yeah. It's
what always makes me a little tempted to run the Fluttershy that just flips a main. In a deck that's running this, so you can be like, haha, I actually flip it.
Yeah.
But that just feels inefficient and clunky. Even if it is a great temptation, just in case.
Yeah, that's one of those cards that it's fun. It's fun sometimes, but I think you usually end up regretting it.
Yeah.
But certainly, one of the things that I just want to say before I say anything else that I do think this main is amazing design. It's one of the most unique ones we have in the game, really, at this point.
It also feels like an inevitable design, honestly.
To some degree, yeah.
Because this is a tournament designed card, right? Or is it not? I can't remember.
I didn't really follow.
I feel like it was, and she was the reason. Yes, it is. It is.
Okay.
And I feel like if this hadn't been used player designed, it would have ended up in the game. Maybe not by now, but I would say within about the game having 20 sets, if it actually makes that.
Yeah, I mean...
It would have had a card like this, because, it's a thing that you can just be like, what if we made a main that just copies other mains? Well, we have Changelings.
Yeah, kind of obvious. Think about it that way.
It feels like an inevitability of card design. I'm just glad it's got already put into the game. Very good.
Yeah. And one of the things that I thought, because I ran this main in like one of my first control decks back in Odysseys. And the thing that I found really interesting about it was that often it tended to make the game like when you're playing it, you have the ability to kind of tailor your strategy a little bit. Like, oh, I copied a Scootaloo. I guess I'm playing a little bit more of a hybrid aggro game this time around.
My favorite is when you copy Bluna,
Mhm.
and you're just like, you're playing a control deck, but you copy Bluna, and you're like, so I'm going to play this friend that's also removal, but I'll drag my main there, so at least when it's removal, I get 3 extra power.
Mhm.
Like, that was just so satisfying, having this copy Bluna. Also, copying Scootaloo is incredible. Oh my gosh, it's so brutal, especially if you have any sources of eccentric. It's just like, cool, I'll stick my eccentric there. Go.
Mhm.
And they're just like, oh, okay.
So yeah, I feel like,
And like,
I feel like this one is kind of in the same, maybe a little bit better than Dash, just because like, we know which deck Dash goes in. This one kind of can be applied to a lot of situations.
This one can go in anything, but it's usually controlling.
Usually, yeah.
Because you need the versatility of just the 2 colors and doing whatever the heck you want.
Yeah. So,
and the fact that you're not set to the 2 colors you choose, so depending on what you want, you could build like a 3 to 4 color deck, and then you go, but my main needs to be X and Y colors. Like, things like that makes this card top notch in terms of being able to just be used.
I kind of want to say that we still throw this at tier 1, but I don't know about that.
I still think it could be considered 1, but I'd say 1.25 if we're really stretching it. Like, it is the top end of tier 1.5 because it's just one of those where it's like, it's always going to have a sort of, oh, hey, wait, we could run Chrissy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get like it's
sort of feel to it.
It's in a weird spot where it's like I say, it's better than Dash, but I don't know if I'm comfortable saying it's tier 1. So what is it, right? So yeah,
I still think it sort of sits in the 1.5 area because it doesn't really have anything right now.
Sure,
but it can as 1.5 is, it can easily suddenly go, well, there we go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
I mean, it'd probably be the main if DJ didn't exist.
Well, I mean, lots of things would be different if DJ didn't exist. I mean, we could run a whole stream about how would this game be different if DJ didn't exist.
Oh, gosh.
So, I was going to say, speaking about honesty.
Tier 1, as soon as it got printed, everyone went, oh, hey, that thing that Maud does, except, it can get even bigger if I want and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I don't have to run friends. Yes.
Isn't that just amazing, right?
Yeah.
But
like, it's pretty obvious where this is going to stand forever unless it gets banned or whatever.
Or
they start not caring about harmony.
Yeah. Or a better farming main came along. People.
How though? Like,
I don't know.
Would they ever want to print a better farming
card
main
with Diligent 3? I don't know.
No, get out. Oh god, no, they could not print that.
No.
Just a main with Diligent 3 would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, I won 1 face off. Let's go to 6 power. Yeah, okay, this is fair. Now we can solve every generic orange problem pretty much. Because it sort of lies on 6 and 8 with a lot of them.
Yeah, actually, Bugle brings up a good point. That it's true. Well, I mean, that's kind of, you can talk about farming and you can talk about AJ and say that. But since AJ basically is farming these days, you can also say the same thing of the archetype. Like I've often
that it just kind of loses to some and wins to others.
Yeah, I've started to think lately that certainly based on the way that I've seen farming do at the tournaments that I've been to, that AJ is kind of like people talk sometimes about what you call like the gateway deck. I remember I had a Magic player who in Vancouver he used to talk about that, like the deck that isn't tier 1, but you can't be tier 1 unless you can beat it. And I feel like orange farming is kind of in that place right now.
Yeah. It is the tier 1.5 deck, so to speak, where it's always going to do pretty well.
Yeah.
But it's not really a sort of winning a tournament deck unless the player's lucky, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least I don't think we've seen it like be a winner or top 2.
Oh, not in a long time. Like usually.
Yeah, not in ages. But it's always there, and it always does pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Like usually, whenever I build a deck, I'm like, oh, this deck's pretty good. Wait a second. How do I beat farming? Crap, this deck sucks.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, I'm not going to even get to play against all the tier 1 stuff it can beat because it'll lose to this.
Yeah.
Which is always a weird thing you have to do when you build decks.
So, I mean, I guess based on that discussion, well, I don't know. By our own definition, I think like the main's still tier 1 because it's still.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like as I said, the farming deck is the tier 1.5 deck, so to speak. It's the sort of exam to get you to tier 1 almost.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, yeah.
We are keeping in mind that she has other functions, which is why she's still tier 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like so off, like the easy association with this card is just, I'm just gonna get me crops.
Everybody remembers that, yes. But it's true. Actually, when I first saw the main, I thought, well, back when I thought that Diligent, and to be honest, Diligent is primarily an aggro keyword, I believe.
To mid range, I'd say as well.
Yeah, yeah. And you know that ability, you know, farming very rarely takes advantage of her moving power counters ability, but it is.
Why would you ever take it away from the safe spot?
Very true.
Like everything else can get killed by removal. This thing just stays around forever.
Yeah. But for an aggro deck, it's like free movement, right? So.
Yeah, because if you diligent your main, it's like, cool, I'll stick 2 power. Like, even if you just stick 1, it goes, cool, that tips my X over the edge to solve that on its own. It's just like, cool. When you can make Swift friends that have enough power to just solve problems on their own, 10 out of 10.
Or even better than Swift, immediate movement speed if your Thunderlane somehow doesn't have a counter on it.
Yeah, like, just ponk it on. Go, Thunderlane, go. And, yeah. And also, yeah, putting things so that the Appaloosa protects them just because is really useful.
Yeah, that is a...
as E-Bugle said.
That is a card
I was going to get to that, but there we go.
Yeah, that is a...
I love Appaloosa. As soon as it was printed, I got 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it's just, yep, cool. I need that. I need that in my life right now.
That is a card that has suddenly entered the zeitgeist, but...
It's a shame that Pink can just steal things and retire them to a removal spell nowadays.
Well, I mean, honestly, maybe it's good that there's at least something there, because I know, you know, if
yeah, but I still feel like Pink shouldn't be able to answer it because White's the main answer to Appaloosa. You just banish the friend. Who cares?
Yeah, you make a good point there, but I don't know. Another discussion for another day. If Pink should really, I mean, if Pink seems to have gotten this sort of. Well, actually, that's a tough call, because White is kind of the steal your stuff color, too.
But White's the steal it forever, so you just want to keep it.
Right.
Pink is the steal it temporarily, so I'm just going to retire it.
Many ways that I know how to do that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like Soaring, or Minuet, or Belly Flop, the most popular ones right now.
Yeah, the value on Belly Flop.
Oh, Belly Flop's so good.
Yeah.
Belly Flop's so good. Oh my gosh.
I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, Belly Flop was one of those guys. Getting back to us talking about the OCR review of you, I think we all gave it a 5. I hope we all gave it a 4 or a 4.
If I only gave it a 4, it'll be because I'm like, the deck that it's going to be put in already exists. This card's just ridiculous for it.
Yeah.
Rather than it being then again, like it's always a tough call with a removal card because technically they pretty much always define the meta. If it's a good removal spell, it always defines the meta because you have to build your deck in mind that this removal card exists.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, it's always weird giving ratings to removal.
Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, tier 1. Agreed?
Tier 1 main, mainly in a tier 1.5 deck.
Got it. Oh, right. I remember there were two.
Oh, this main's so fun. Oh, I remember this main so much.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when it first came out, people played it a lot, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's not weak. It's not like not a weak main. It's
not.
just there's better. You may as well be doing something else. I feel like it is the issue with this main.
Yeah, I don't know. This one kind of it's really a kind of a lurking main, I would say, in that like I've heard a lot about like these decks that use it. They're just that are a thing, and they're pretty good. They don't show up in tournaments.
You could lose to them at your locals totally believably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but they just don't make big tourneys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is a shame because I like this main. It's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of similar to what we saw before, or at least what I said before about the moving counters around with Applejack. Except
you're kind of giving your friends Swift, especially when you cause double face-offs.
Pretty much, yeah.
Holy crud.
Yeah.
And especially when you've got stuff with Stubborn, and it's at one problem, and then you give its power to something else at another problem, or at the same problem, and it's just like,
yeah,
this card was just designed with Stubborn in mind.
A symphony of love,
which I like a lot.
Or however you want to call it.
Yeah. I always want the Applejack, the super rare Applejack that makes your exhausted orange friends have +2 power.
Yeah.
I love that card's design. I know it's not that good. I just love it. I adore it. It's so cool. And every time I see all these really good exhaust Stubborn cards that are in orange or orange purple or orange X, I'm just like, please print, because they're one too much.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of lost you there for a second, but I think you're good now.
Oh, hello.
Okay. So
well, the Great Applejack rant of 2017.
Yeah.
I love that card. I love its design. I want it to be good, but I just feel like it's one cost or one requirement or something off. People just get it into decks.
I do see it I do see it from time to time in the the Muffin Mare decks that I play against him. I banish it like right away most of the time, but it's still pretty good. But yeah, I think that based on what I've said, Muffin Mare is kind of like the definition of tier 2, really. I mean, she's...
Yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like, you'll see it and you'll realistically lose to it, but you ain't going to see it at a big tourney, and you're not going to expect to see it at a big tourney, but it could.
Totally, yeah.
But it could.
Yeah, and
and I want it to. If there is a deck list that uses this, if it's not farming, which obviously there's better options for farming, I will probably work hard to just build that deck list, because I like this main quite a lot. Mainly because I love Vittelstand so much, and I just don't feel like there's Vittelstand effects that are just outright good right now. More universal ones. I know there's the odd one that's on Friends specifically that get used kind of, sort of.
Yeah, you've got.
But it's like, I want one where I can just do anything to anything. I love it when you can just be like, this gains this power.
Yeah. I mean, who says it has to be Friends? Throw a resource onto a friend, or banish a card from your discard pile to throw its power onto a friend or something. That would probably be too good.
Yeah. Hey, we have Smart Cookie. That card is great. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I saw that card, I was like, what?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is my 2-cost friend can randomly have 18 power just because.
Just because. Yep. Yeah, I actually.
Yeah.
Well, that's a discussion for another time, I guess. But yeah.
Anyway, so next main, we've we've talked about 20 other cards around this card. Let's actually talk about the mains like we're supposed to.
Right. So, Lyra, I often try to think of combos. Seems like a.
I like this card. I like the fact that it combos with a card that's it as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of adorable. Other than that, sorry, vinyl exists. See you later.
To a large degree, yeah.
Because both of the mains, you quote unquote pay 2 to flip, with DJ potentially costing less.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like this would be a very good premium pink main if DJ wasn't a thing, because oh my god, that card's so good.
Yeah.
It's just card advantage incarnate.
Yeah. Over.
Because this can be like, oh man, I'm running out of answers. You know what? I'm going to pay 2, drop these 2 cards I don't need, and draw a new hand of 8. Like, heck yeah.
Yeah. But certainly, like, over the course of the game, you're probably going to draw more than 8 cards off of DJ anyway, so.
Yeah, that's the DJ just draws 20 cards. DJ draws your entire deck and then 3 more cards. Because she's just stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd put this at tier 2 just because I feel like they could introduce a rotation system or introduce banning to make it so this card's good again. Like, this card can be good.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this would be the new DJ if DJ went out.
I wouldn't say it'd be the new DJ, but I feel like it'd be a pink main that people would use.
Okay, that's fair. It's like when I know my first impression of the main was like as an aggro kind of thing. Like, I just empty my hand out and then boom 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 get some more 8 cards. Excellent, right?
Unfortunately, Gabby exists for that now.
Yeah. Now that Gabby's in,
boom boom boom, hand.
Kind of filling that role. So yeah,
this feels like for me, it feels like a sort of control main for if you don't want to play the Chrissy game with someone, where you can just be like, oh man, I'm running out of cards. Oh hey, I have cards.
Yep.
To sort of be a game plan. So yeah, it seems quite easy to build around to me, and it feels like the deck could easily be good. It's just that other things that are better than it for now exist, so
yeah,
there's no point in using it.
Yeah, but that sounds about right. Tier 2 then. Okay. Oh, not just ambassadors left, but here we go.
Also, part of the issue with her is she's more difficult to get hold of than a DJ as well.
That's true, actually. Yes.
It's just like, okay. Oh, this one.
Yep, this.
I really like this one as well, but I've had so many games where my opponent's running it and they don't flip their main.
Mm-hmm. This is kind of.
And that's the issue with her.
Pink's lament kind of began.
Oh.
With Pinkie Pie and continues.
The flip side is so good.
It's very true, it is.
The front side is so awkward.
Yep.
Oh.
I feel like.
Start of your turn. Gosh damn it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
Oh, so you have how many friends? Cool, I'm going to play my 3rd friend too.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, if that was, well, obviously, if that was at the end of your turn, then great, no worries. Just.
Oh my gosh, it'd be so good. Oh, it's like, cool, turn 1, I will play a friend. I flip my main. There we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which.
But obviously, I think they didn't want, for limited sake especially.
Yeah, that
turn
might
1,
be
play a card, flip my main. Ha ha ha. I feel like for constructed, she could say at the end of your turn. But for the pre-release, if she did that.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
But yeah, on the backside, you've got that Eccentric 2. You've got essentially it's a secret to every pony built into a main. So yeah, yep, and that problem
and because
sees play. So
it's got a weird ruling where you can move her to another problem and get cost reduction again or something, hasn't she? Or has that changed now?
Well, I didn't really pay much attention.
I keep seeing it talked about, but because she doesn't get played, I don't know if it's actually a thing. Well, because I haven't seen her get played, I don't know if it's actually a thing.
So let me think about that for a second.
Because if it is, then that's also a really cool synergy that she can do.
I mean, I can.
But yeah, it's that star side. Ugh, that start side.
I can kind of see how that would work.
because it's this card's problem, but its problem has changed. So once again, this friend that you're playing to its problem's the first friend played to its problem that's now a new problem. It's kind of sort of, but it's weird. And when you first read the card, it just feels like the first friend you play this turn to a problem that she's at gets reduced by 1. But the way it's worded feels like it could apply to both. But I don't care enough to look it up.
Yeah. But yeah.
But yeah, because of a flip condition, I'd say she's 3. She's not garbage.
Yeah.
She's all right, but she's just too awkward to flip.
Yeah, very unfortunate.
The most satisfying thing for me is when I'm playing Chrissy and they're playing this, that for no effort, I get a really good name.
That's a pretty good point. I mean, granted, you have to allow your opponent to flip
and I start playing all my cards for cheaper, and it's just like.
Yep. Also, well, this isn't a Pinkie Pie thing, but I just want to point out one thing that I really like about all the Equestrian Odysseys mains, that they all have Celestia watermarks on them. Just
because they're the ambassadors, so they work.
I know, I love it. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you on 3 there. I mean, you kind of summed up the issue with how your opponent can just kind of decide, well, I don't really think your main's ever going to flip.
Yeah, it's hard. It's difficult for you to be in a position where you can make it so your opponent can't stop you from flipping your main.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to make that situation. Like with the introduction of tokens, it became easier.
A little bit, yeah.
But it's still not really worth it.
Like I had a thought a little while ago, because Defenders has that new party favor that, like, at the start of your turn you can turn them into a bunch of tokens. But I don't think that works, because it's like, you know, those triggers will file.
They both.
Those.
I need to look up triggers and how triggers that check work in this game. Because in Magic, because I know how in Magic it works. This card would, at the start of a turn, check and go, I have less friends. I do not need to trigger. But in this game, it might trigger and only check when it resolves.
Right.
So if it works like that, then you could be like, well, I'm going to have so party favor resolves, and then Pinkie checks, and brah. But I don't know if it worked like that.
Yeah. Like, my assumption... Okay. Honestly, I've learned to just stop talking about triggers, because I clearly don't... I don't think I know enough about them to really say anything definitive. I think, like...
Let's say we've given our tier rating and move on.
Yeah, okay, let's go with that.
rules next.
Well, this main sees play.
Yes, people like this main a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's just extra action tokens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't have a main. I have a Castle of Friendship named Twilight.
That's funny on multiple levels there, friend. Yes. Yeah, and it's funny because, you know, purple is, well, it feels like it's been this way for a while, but it's weird to remember the days when purple didn't just have a mountain of action tokens, and that was its thing. Yeah, Odysseys was when it started. Purple got so many cards to say, I'm going to gain an action.
Yes.
I'm going to gain another action token. I'm going to...
Purple was, like, awkward for a while. I think Equestrian Odysseys, when purple hit, it's sort of, I know what I want to do stride. And this is one of the sort of big influences on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alongside Cover to Cover. And... Oh, I'm trying to think of another example that's pretty good. Something like, Frozen in Magicite was another good example of what sort of purple wants to be now.
Well, Napcakes, say, for example, another card that...
That's it, Napcakes. There you go.
Yeah.
Just like sort of conditional stuff that kind of gets rid of stuff. Lots of action tokens and, just being able to control 5 ever. Also, deck manipulation.
Yes.
Deck manipulation is so important to purple now. Meticulous. Congrats.
Yeah. And as we say, it kind of all started with Ambassador Twilight here. So for that purpose, the main definitely served its...
It has quite the legacy.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And, still sees play. Still I tried her out versus Professor Sparkle this year around, and
I still think she's better just because you can easily build a deck that guarantees you'll put a card on top of it.
Totally agree.
But nowadays, with how controlling the sort of meta can be, solving a problem's an awkward one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which is a shame. I wish the game wasn't at a point where solving a problem was an awkward concept. That's kind of weird, but it is.
It's just kind of where things are right now, I guess.
Yeah.
One assumes.
So again, the best way to control your opponent is by stopping them from solving problems. Look, I said my name.
Yeah, you were kind of edging closer and closer there. Finally got there.
But yeah, I'd say, is it still tier 1 right now?
Well,
or is it 1.5? Has it? I wasn't checking if this was the main getting used in some decks.
So
the issue is that so much of stuff is the Bluna deck, is wings. That it's just kind of if there was a really good deck with this, you probably didn't really see it.
So this main was used in the Cruel Mistress deck.
Ah, yes. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I couldn't remember if this was the main or not. I couldn't remember what the main was at all. I remember just the deck list itself being interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I can't blame you for that. That was the primary allure of that deck. There's just so many cool tricks. But yeah, this one showed up there. Besides that, I don't think it had any real major airtime this season. But still, I mean, for generic purple control, I think this is probably your best bet in the meta right now.
Yeah.
Unless you're Emperor Bugle and you're
more action tokens is good.
Yeah. Unless you really, really prefer DJ. Which, I mean, can't really blame me on that
I
one.
don't care if it's not on color. But I guess you can technically draw a card every turn just with the extra action token.
To a degree. I mean, you could call it that way if you wanted to. So, personally, I think I want to say 2-1 still. Because, it is still a card that gets used for a major, it's still, if I was building a purple deck, it would definitely be one of the cards I would consider first as a main, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, easily.
Okay.
So I feel confident saying it's tier 1 still.
Sure.
But yeah.
Oh, here we go. Octavia. The sort of main that I feel like it made a bit of a splash when it first showed up. Certainly, it.
Cool. Thank you, Living Silver. Just on the note of the whole Pinky ruling's rubbish. Party favor is too late.
Okay.
Because she's not really a trigger, she just sort of checks.
Yeah, she's a check. Okay, I figured as much. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Onwards to Tavy.
By the way, thanks for showing up, Leo. I know he usually watches our VODs, but he's here for the real thing this time. Good stuff. But yes, Octavia was one of those mains where I had to have someone play it against me, and then it was wait a second, that does what? And then I read, oh wow, that does that. That's really good. Kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. You see, this, when I did my first nationals, was the dream main for me to play against, because I was running House Arrest, aka the deck that moves things. So they're boom, 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 all this power temporarily. Okay, cool, it's all home. It doesn't matter. And now it's all gone. Cool! So this was very much the matchup card that I was super good against, because I just tactically chose when to do things, and pretty much everything I did would be a complete blowout.
Basically, yeah. That's kind of Octavia's issue. Is that yeah, she's super efficient, but kind of fragile in that you get in.
You're creating this really impressive sculpture out of paper.
Yeah, yeah. Especially since that power it's there, but then if something happens so that you didn't get your face off and confronts this turn, well, power goes away. You're left with a bunch of aloes and flitters in your home, and don't you feel happy, right?
And the honest answer with this card it is blue.
Yeah, I feel pretty.
Like, you've got Spitfire. What is the 4-mana, the 4-cost event that makes 7 Pegasi? Like, this card is pretty much blue.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you might be able to push yellow just because it's pretty good at getting critters everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've often thought of it as a pink deck, actually, and lately I've thought about experimenting with it a little bit more in that, because like you've got, pink's got the cheap entry. Lily makes a lot of sense in this deck. The Berry Punch and Orange Swirl stuff, especially now. Actually, the idea that I'm working on right now is Minuet, actually. Just because it's actually like a pretty good tempo thing if you think about it. Like if Minuet's at the problem, then whenever your opponent plays a friend to that problem, another eccentric 2 goes on that problem, right?
Well, only until the end of your turn.
Well, yeah, but it'll be there when they try to confront.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then, Minuet can, she also works into obviously the Berry Punch and Orange Swirl and any kind of stealing effects or retiring retiring those 1 power friends that you have sitting at your home that you have nothing better to do
that's
with.
The thing I was forgetting.
Oh.
It works on your opponent's friends.
Yes.
Why does this card work on your opponent's friends? I always forget that. That's so weird.
Huh? Yeah. Just when a friend enters play at a problem.
Oh, I forget. That's the mix-up I was having. Okay, cool. Moving on.
So yeah, I think Octavia is sitting in 2 right now, to be honest. She's always sort of had this issue with.
She never seems to quite make it.
Yeah, she's got like I say, she's pretty. She's pretty. What did I want? Well, fragile, right? She's got like removal kind of hurts generally. What she's got like. Well, when you play white and pink, or even white and blue, you've got options against troublemakers, but still, you often are pretty reliant on.
But you're often so all in on your theme that.
Yeah. It's a little inflexible.
Yeah.
So I would say tier 2 is the best place to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Go away, Octavia. There we go.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember this name.
Mm-hmm. I remember like the Odyssey's pre-release, and everyone was like, "Oh, well, this main's just like guaranteed to flip. I just need to let my opponent win a little bit first."
Yeah. This main was better with old rules, I'll say. But just because your opponent score bonus and then you flip your main.
Pretty much, yeah. It is one of those.
I mean, I like both of the abilities on its flip side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's.
I always like messing around with the idea, with making your opponent's home limit 0. That's just funny to me.
It's
like with the buffalo, the orange white Trenderhoof And just being like, home limits don't exist is kind of neat.
Totally.
Just to sort of put your opponent for doing double face-offs. But it's never been good. It's fun, though.
No, it's never really come into a thing. And, I mean, I guess that's kind of what Ambassador's shooting for. Like, if just Shoei 1 on a main isn't quite good enough, I mean, that's what Premier Rarity was doing, right? I think, or something like that. But
she had Shoei 1 and something inspired.
Right. Yeah.
That weird one.
Yeah. And so I guess that's a good reason and enough there for why Ambassador Rarity never really caught on. It's because if you're not doing the home limit deck, then Shoei was...
Also, it feels like her abilities are counterintuitive to each other. Because it's like, well, they sort of synergize, but they're also kind of counterintuitive. If your opponent has no home limit, they're not going to be moving friends to the problem.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean,
And it's like, okay...
I guess the idea...
It kind of forces your opponent to play from hand,
yeah,
I guess is the idea.
Yeah. And then say you're running, purple, and, everything they play from hand, I'm just going to crack my Ursa, and it goes back anyway. Or, I just throw down a Magicite or a Portal.
Or you throw down I Need Answers. That's the one that makes everything enter exhausted, right?
Study Session.
That's a Study Session.
Yes.
I Need Answers was the problem that had similar art.
Yeah, something like that. So, yeah. But even so, outside of even after pre-release, even in drafts and other limited events, I don't remember this main being particularly well picked.
She's a good limited main, but I think that's kind of what she was designed for.
All right, that's fair to say.
I'd say, honestly, because, yeah, I have played white in pre-releases, and every time I'm just like, oh my gosh, this main is annoying my opponent so much.
Yeah, that's fair. Shoei and other tax type effects do tend to be pretty good in limited. It's just worth saying.
Because of your limited resources, the fact that she kind of wants your opponent to play from hand in limited, that gets to the point where it's like, now I just have to play 3 to move to that problem.
Yeah.
All right. And that just kind of becomes their reality after a while.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think... I'm still tempted to kind of say 3, honestly, because...
3. I wouldn't say garbage.
Yeah.
She's not, as bad as everything else we've thrown in there.
Oh, no. All the stuff from Premier Block.
And at least we can talk about decks we've built around her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Other things in the garbage we definitely haven't, right? I can't even remember.
Well, there's certainly...
But yeah,
Yeah.
But yeah, this card is fun, good for limited, and I feel like that was its main design.
Yeah, sounds about right. Okay, last one. Well, last one in Odysseys, at least. That's her kindness. Another one that shows up a lot in limited, I think. I think just because yellow is pretty good in limited in Odysseys.
Yes,
and all such.
it's more that yellow's good rather than this is good. Rarity has made me play white quite a few times. Fluttershy has never made me go, oh, I want to play yellow.
Yeah,
in limited.
Yeah, it was always more
cards I get have made me want to play yellow in limited,
yes.
And then I'm like, yeah, I should run Fluttershy as my main.
Well, I guess I'm playing yellow, Fluttershy then, right? Sure, whatever.
At least he's easy to flip.
And occasionally your opponent forgets about that action token thing.
And then they go, you lose your action turn. It's like, oh no, I needed that next turn. I'm like, well, you don't have it.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. But honestly, I feel like we're kind of in the same place as Rarity here. It just, obviously, calming never really became a thing and constructed. So.
No, unfortunately not.
Yeah. And
Now you see, if calming lasted forever.
Oh, gee, wow.
Why would you print that?
That would be disgusting.
I feel like they could print one card with that calming that did it in the form of -1 power counters or something.
-1 power?
They haven't done -1 power counters, have they?
No.
Okay.
That would maybe get a little bit confusing, but Oh.
You'd probably just have the counter out system where it's like if they have 3 power counters and you put a -1 power counter on, they just go to 1. They just go to 2.
Yeah, they go to 2. But then, like, if they had nothing and you put a -1 power counter on, you'd have to be sure that you know that's a -1 instead of a +1.
Yeah.
Using a different colored dice or something.
To be fair, it happens in Magic. I have black dice and white dice.
Okay, well.
White's positive, black's negative, because bleh. Thanks, Living Silver. Great one.
Yeah.
Calming word against Octavia, and even then, it didn't do it very well.
Not really, no. Because, like, oh, sure, calming too, and that negates all the extra power that Octavia was giving, but still, the friend is the friend. And
but also, the issue sometimes is they're playing a friend with 1 power that goes to 0 power.
Right.
Because you can't have a friend giving -1 power, and then they still +1 off it.
Yeah, actually, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Which is part of the issue of it still interacting that much.
Yeah. I play Aloe for 5 power. Oh, I can only take away 1 of those. That's unfortunate.
I play Aloe for 4 power. How terrible.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're pretty safe in going for the 3 again.
This card, I'd say it is just garbage.
Oh, you go to the garbage.
It's fine for limited, but like I don't think anyone's ever going to properly run it unless they have to run a yellow main for block. But we have 2 a lot better yellow mains with the same flip condition.
Funnily enough,
from the latest set.
Yep.
So it is just throw it in the bin. Whatever.
Too bad.
To me, anyway.
All right, that's fair. I mean, yeah, I guess kind of as you say, the difference between her and Rarity is that, yeah, you don't really, as we said at the start, you don't really.
Does anyone talk about building decks around her? No, they don't.
No.
At least with Rarity, she has an interesting-ish design, so that you can be like, oh, I built this novel deck and I had fun. This is just like, eh.
I essentially built a yellow draft deck.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, on to the
High
next
Magic.
set.
High Magic was.
Is that like 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3.
Now, granted.
Bluna, hi. Hi, Tier 1 Bluna. How are you? You're doing good.
Yep. The main that has never gone away.
There was a scary moment for you there when Scootaloo came out, but...
Hey, actually,
whatever.
No, yeah, you make a good point. Scootaloo, Scootaloo gave her a run for her money. But then...
And then Hot Wings.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Training Traditions and Angel Wings and fun times for everyone this past summer. Well, definitely fun times for everyone who was playing.
Everybody's favorite. Ugh, yeah.
But yeah, this is like amazing value.
Do we even need to talk about why this card's good? It just is. Come on.
Yeah.
It is a main with 3 power that moves for the 0 action tokens as long as you're doing your game plan of playing the game.
As long as
in
you're
an aggressive way.
As long as you're playing stuff, this main's good. And newsflash,
and in most decks that run it, you're gonna be playing stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
like, we really don't need to talk about it. Let's just go.
Right, move ahead. Tier 1.
It's just too easy to talk with that one. Oh, Trixie,
right.
You're so bad.
Oh yeah, this main's a thing. I kind of forgot about that.
Like, I thought, oh man, this could be the new Twilight. Saw the flip side and went, why did I pay 2 to flip this? I may as well have just played an event and flipped my Twilight from Canterlot Knights. Why? Why did I pay 2 to flip this?
Yep.
Oh.
And it's only when your opponent starts the face-off, too. It's not even during face-offs.
If it was during a face-off, I'd be like, ooh, interesting. I can nap cakes for 0 and this and that. And it's like, only when your opponent starts. Well, I guess during my troublemaker face-offs, the troublemaker face-offs they cause and stuff, and it still just seems too fringe.
Sure.
Yeah. My enthusiasm basically just started to die as soon as I saw the boosted side of this card.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, okay, sure, 1 less for events till the end of the face-off. Fair enough. But if I'm playing Ambassador Twilight, I mean, it's probably easier to flip, and with all that extra AT, I'm basically
less action to
flip.
So, the 2 you save from not flipping her, plus the action token she makes,
Essentially,
yeah.
Now, as
Like, while that is fair, having zero-action token responses and stuff, having answers when your opponent thinks you have nothing because you have zero-action tokens is still nice. The fact is, I've seen no one play this, unfortunately.
I think once, I believe back in the day, once upon a time, at some tournament sometime, some gentleman played a purple control deck using this card. And it was actually like, okay. But just that one crazy person from a long time ago. That's all I remember.
So you have no proper representation then?
In essence, yeah. And
well.
Yeah. And I think
it's a nice effect. I just wish you didn't have to pay 2 to flip her over. I'd honestly be like, if you didn't have to pay the 2. That is always... Paying action tokens to flip your main is always a big kicker for me. Like, just literally. Yeah, having to move it to a problem to confront to flip. That's more incidental action token cost. I mean, when it says pay to flip me, it's just like, you better do something amazing. And this just doesn't feel strong enough.
Yeah, I think, as I say, it's just there are better control mains out there.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty good reason. So in the current setup, I mean, I think we're leaning towards less than 3. Or sorry, greater than 3. I should just say garbage.
I think it's been, like, I feel like it's one of those that's on the teetering on the trash can, so to speak, where it's like, it has potential. If we get more and more one-cost events at immediate that can do cool things, it still falls in the bin for me.
I think I agree with you there. What was our other high magic main? Oh, yeah!
This is where in, like, 3 sets, it's, like, completely broken now, and we're like, well...
Yeah. I mean,
because I feel like if they print cards, that card can be ridiculous if you just have an absolute library of answers.
I suppose. Yeah.
Oh, hey, it's that guy that nobody's ever played.
I believe I played him in a Silver Spanner once.
With weird conditions.
Yeah, with weird conditions. I think it was like the one where everyone had to be playing Troublemakers or something, but yeah.
Oh, well, I guess it makes sense in a format where you have to.
Yeah, this is always one of those weird ones, because it's like...
All right, cool. I play aggro. Oh, cool. My main never flips, and I lose.
Yeah, it's kind of clearly an aggro thing on its reverse side, but you have to be playing it in a deck with Troublemakers, or else it's never going to flip. So...
Yeah, it's like, oh man, against this control deck, I flipped it, and it was really nice. Against that fellow aggro deck, because I'm trying to play aggro and I don't run Troublemakers, I lost. Because my main never flipped, and they just killed everything.
Yep.
Good.
I mean,
so yeah.
Lately, I've kind of been thinking about some sort of tempo-ish mid-range deck where you like play control kind of for the first couple turns, and then once you're set up, you say, okay, I'm playing aggro now, and clear the problems and go, right? But I don't know if that's actually a thing or not.
I had no idea.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. It's these awkward, I hinder my opponent if they're doing X cards, that it's like, okay, cool, it's just bad against certain decks, though.
Pretty much, yeah.
Is the issue with something like this, which keeps it in the bin.
I think I agree with you there.
I mean, if my local game, like metagame, is just saturated with Troublemakers, I might give it a go just for the lulz. But I ain't expecting to do well.
Yeah. Okay.
So the draft mains.
The draft mains, yes.
The draft pack. Hi, Scootaloo, the one that, as far as I know, most people house ban from Limited.
Well, it's been a long time since I played an actual house limited event. I mean, I kind of agree why I can see why that would be the case. For those who do the draft packs back in the day, it used to be, I got Scootaloo, I win.
Okay, I should play blue.
Yeah. You guys got Apple Bloom. Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
But
So yeah, as I said earlier, this is the one that gave Blumina a run for her money, which is blooming incredible, to say the least.
Yeah. But I mean,
I'm pretty sure it's one of the best mains in Block 2 as a block format. Considering when I did the UK Nationals, which was Block 2, I think this was 75% of my games. Because it's just so good.
Yep.
And then my Chrissy was Scootaloo for 75% of my games, which is just great.
Yeah. We I mean, the thing about Scootaloo is oftentimes, sometimes you get to the point where it's like, I just don't have anything to spend my AT on because I just move everything for free. And
obviously, her big glaring weakness is a card that keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
DJ Pimentary dropped the base. I mean,
that's good point. Yes.
Because obviously, she just goes, oh, hey, it's gone. But still, just being able to move her for free, like you would say Rainbow, can't really complain about that. And there's all sorts that's just kind of good with this card. Is it still tier 1, or is Bluna's Hot Wings made it 1.5 for now?
I would say 1.5. Like,
okay,
yeah. It's it's a main that you expect to see, but these days Luna is once again queen of blue.
Yeah, and easier to flip than solving right now.
Yeah, definitely a good point. So
only because EBO made it. Shh, don't tell anyone.
Yeah, I mean it's
yeah.
Well, so all of this confront your problem stuff. It falls victim to this thing. Like Pink was teching in Snips and Snails for various reasons a long time before, and all of this you need to confront your problem stuff kind of falls victim to that, right? Because you're going to be running some starting problem that you're going to want to flip, and if you don't draw good, well, maybe it goes away, and now you're looking at whatever else you put in your problem deck. Probably some big 2 bonus thing because you're playing an aggro deck, and that's an issue.
To be fair, it's also people's reliance on trading traditions. I'm going to run nothing of entry for my second color. I'm just going to run trading traditions. Oh, hey, it's gone. Oops.
It's true.
That is one of the main reasons that my Pink-White did so well at the UK Nationals, was because people's reliance on trading traditions was so heavy that I was like, you can do the first double face-off, party of 1. You lose. And that was quite a few games, admittedly.
Well, yeah, I mean, you be greedy, you get punished. That's the way the game should work.
And my deck wasn't greedy because my main gave me both my colors, so meh.
But yeah, I think...
Yeah, 1.5 because Bluna's the better one right now.
Yeah, but certainly...
She can easily come back, though.
Yeah, she can totally come back.
It's not difficult.
Okay, on the other end of the spectrum...
You're interesting, but you're bad.
Yep.
It's kind of neat. It's like an orange aggro card. You're going to win the double face-off when you cause it because you exhaust all your opponent's friends that matter. But it's bad because orange isn't the best aggro color. And it's not like with AJ where if you do orange aggro, it's like, well, look, my main's massive and I can confront this easily. No, your main's still got 3 power.
Your main's still got 3 power.
If she had Diligent 1, I think she'd be infinitely better.
Ooh. Well, no, that's an idea, yeah.
Because if she had Diligent 1, so you could sort of have this escalating low curve, low cost problem aggro, where you just run really low things like 5s and 4s.
Yeah.
So it gets to the point where your main, after just 1 or 2, confronts every problem in your deck. Be sweet, because you can obviously just make all these sort of biased aggro face-offs. Would it be tier 1? No. Probably not. But I still think people would actually try it.
Yeah, and it actually does.
As it is, it's just bad.
It actually does make a whole lot of sense to build it that way, because it's like, okay, here is an ability that makes okay, you're going to win the face-offs, and here's an ability that rewards you for winning face-offs. Alrighty, now we're in business.
As you start doing your game plan, it gets worse and worse for your opponent, which is cool.
But
yeah, like that was my way to fix this card is Diligent 1. 2 would be it would be a bit over the top, I think. But 1, having it because it's Apple Bloom, she's small, only gets small buffs.
Sure, yeah, that works.
I think if she had Diligent 1, it would actually be like, huh. I would have probably experimented with it, honestly. Might have got rid of the good old Spike, my little baby Spike.
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
who knows? But yeah. Otherwise, it's just kind of garbage.
I think so. Yeah.
It doesn't really have a deck. I don't see it ever having a deck, but it's cute. It's a cute design, and I feel like they could have just done more with it.
Yeah, like Orange was kind of going into this exhaust your opponent's stuff. For
sort of aggro-y feel
but it
sort of it's just for one turn, just to win face-offs and stuff.
But it hasn't really gone anywhere yet, and I don't.
It hasn't really got anywhere yet, and I still don't feel like she'd be headlonging a deck that did that.
Yeah.
It would be the cards in the deck headlonging the deck.
Totally. Like even if that deck did go somewhere, I don't think Apple Bloom would be the main. So
no.
Yeah. I mean, if there was some sort of like orange changeling drone that was like +2 power for every exhausted friend on your opponent's side, that would be an interesting.
There's that AJ, the superhero AJ is like +2 for each exhausted friend. The problem or something.
Was that actually a thing?
I don't remember. I can't remember what its exact condition was.
Was high magic, orange, ultra rare, friend. It's just marvelous. Oh, each other exhausted character has a problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a.
So I guess you could put those together and have some fun, but
yeah,
it feels like it needs more pieces if you really want it to work. And as we said, this probably wouldn't be the card headlining it.
Nah, I mean throw that in with what's the card? Cold Wave. That's
hilarious. I'm just like, even with just Popping Corn.
Yeah, or that.
So on your Popping Corn, exhaust everything.
Mm-hmm.
Or even during your turn to confront, you Popping Corn, exhaust everything, including her because she had 2 power at the time. And she's got a bunch of power. But yeah, as cute as this deck is, I still don't think this card's good.
No, I don't with the weapon. Courage. Speaking of.
I want you to be good. I want you to be really good. You do something so cool.
One of the coolest mains who isn't good.
I traded into you so fast thinking you'd be good, and then I played you and was like, why don't I just run Canterlot Knight's Twilight?
Yeah.
I still do. I haven't edited that deck in ages. House Arrest still just runs Canterlot Knight's Twilight because there's really just nothing better for the deck. How do I flip my main? I play one of the 800 events in my deck.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's all I need.
Yep. This is... I mean, we've talked about...
And you were printed in the same set as Factory, Jack. Why aren't you good?
It was. It's strange. It was. Yeah. But yeah, we've talked about the issues with confronting a problem. And it's... Like, the thing that I still haven't figured out about this man is, like, do you want to flip it early or late? It's early, you get your 2 extra AT, and okay, sure, but obviously it's like, you know, you get more value the later you do it.
Yes, but then the later you leave it, the harder it is to flip, because there's more chance of your opponent stopping you from confronting, etc.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
And everyone always...
She was so close to being cool.
Oh, yeah. She's definitely cool. It's not... I mean, if the start of turn effects could refire, that would be interesting as well. But they don't.
You see, if she was like the Doctor Who's, had a weird condition to flip but gave you an extra turn, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you want to talk about mains that
we're never going to get the Doctor Who from Twilight, are we? Let's shove them in at the end of this.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they're still here on Ponyhead. That's the thing that was a thing
It
once.
exists.
Yeah.
But they've never released the product that they were supposed to be in. Woo.
But yeah,
Oh.
I think this is fair to say.
I think with this, I'd at least put it at like 3 because someone might make use of it.
Yeah, maybe.
It's better than Apple Bloom.
Okay.
I'll say now, it's better than Apple Bloom and some of the other stuff we've put there.
That's true. That's true.
Like,
I wouldn't argue with that. So sure, 3 sounds fun.
Yeah.
Sweetie Belle. Now this is a card that does see play.
This card's cool.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very cool.
I've seen.
I like it.
I mean, there's so many wonderful and irritating things that you can do with
this card is just super interesting and fun to me.
Yep.
You see, when I first read it, I was like, "Oh man, why is this card so bad?" And then I realized it didn't say accessory; it says resource.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh wait."
Yep. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, it's
okay. This is
so versatile. So
because I kind of just went to White's usual thing of it cares about accessories.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh okay."
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it's just resources.
But yeah, I mean, there's like you say that, but it's not like it's bad if you use it with accessories. There's certainly value in that.
Yeah, but if it had that restriction, I'd be like, oh man.
Oh, certainly. But
there's so much cooler stuff.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I can do the cool stuff.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's sort of my general reaction.
Yeah. There's that. There's recurring vexing resources, which is a fair one to point out. Always a fun time. I remember.
What is the cheapest vexing resource? It's 2, right?
Jeez, I don't really. Give me a second to find out for you here.
To the archive.
To the archive. Actually, I should have gone for resources there. 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. Yep, 2.
Yeah, 2. Okay. Also, they need to do more vexing things. They haven't done much vexing things.
Yeah, it could still happen. It was a really interesting idea, especially with this main. And
it also confused people a lot. And I was like, it's really not that complicated, guys.
Yeah.
You know, when you would confront it, you get rid of the thing with vexing, and they didn't.
Totally.
It's like, guys, calm down. You're making it more complicated than it is.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, of course, is that, we talk about vexing, but there's lots of aggro for this main too. I remember back in, I think it was when Defenders first came out, I played against a deck that would just recur 2 bits forever, and it's like, oh my god, you're just going to play that every turn. And that's...
In fact, when this first came out, a friend of mine who loves accessory decks, you know the Canterlot Knights, I think it's Sapphire Shores, where you can retire a resource on her to dump a different accessory on her?
Yep.
Yeah. The tactic was play her 10 carat hat, magic wings, 10 carat hat again, magic wings, 10 carat hat, bosh, and every time you just get 10 carat hat back and just turn it into something better.
That's
it was really funny to watch. It was so fun.
That is actually really cool. I never thought of that. Yeah.
Recurring 2 bits every time is basically just being a fancy Twilight.
I mean,
I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's fair to say, but you don't have to play purple. HD. Your acronyms are screwing me up, Eagle.
Recurring some high definition television, however. HD.
Anyway. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Hearts Design.
That one, yeah. Okay.
It's conditional, though.
There's a point to be made about that.
Conditional things. Ugh. Also, one of the most annoying cards in the Sweetie Belle deck, Accessorized. Even when you think, it can be gone now. No, they just get it back and put it on something else.
Yeah, just goes on something else.
It's just your life now. You just have attacks of 1 action token every turn, or you're losing all your friends. It's just hilarious.
Yeah. Now, for all that to say, it's worth noting that Sweetie Belle has never broken into really proper top tier play. So I think we're saying tier 2 probably.
Yes, she has a lot of potential, and I feel like getting some real good, retire this resource to do X cards would just be like, oh dear.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, she's got. There's so much fun stuff, so much value stuff that you can do. That like you expect at some point something good, something really good is going to come up, and there we go, right? So
Yeah.
I think tier 2 is the right place to put her.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move that over there. Alrighty, defenders. So these are all veins that we've all talked about once before, several months ago now, and we will be talking about again, or at least looking at numbers for again soon. None of the defenders' mains really actually did anything.
No, not really, not a huge amount.
Yeah,
which is a shame.
Yeah. I mean,
because like this rainbow is pretty close to being like really good.
Yeah.
The flipped cards of +2 power is like, really annoying.
I think
usually
pointed to as like the best control main in blue right now, which is, I mean,
accolade.
Sorry.
Quite a strange accolade.
Yeah.
You're the best control main in the aggro color. Wait, what?
But yeah, I mean, lots of these cards are kind of, I don't know. I don't know if we've really, well, I find it hard to talk about them just because I spent all of Defenders trying to build a control deck and didn't really think about these mains that much. I mean, maybe if you've played more limited, you have more experience with them.
I haven't been able to. There's been no card supplies in the UK, as always.
I see.
But you know.
So I think
the issue I'd say with this card is that Blue's best deck right now is Hot Wings, so nobody cares about this card.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate.
So it's one of those where it's like, oh, I feel like if the metagame can calm down a bit from people just playing Hot Wings and starting to figure out other decks that can just compete with it, this could have its time to shine.
Yeah. See, actually, that was something that I actually really wanted to ask Bugle last time when he was on here, but I didn't think about it at the time. Like, so everyone and their mother was playing Hot Wings this set, right? And yet, most of the major tournaments were won by control decks. And so the question is, was it an aggro meta or was it a control meta?
It's an aggro meta, but the people who've already built the control decks are winning because they figured out the meta game,
I guess,
faster.
Yeah.
Because meta is just like majority. Is the easiest way to.
Yeah. Okay. I guess you put it that way.
That's a very simplified version of of looking at it, but the easiest way to look at it is majority. And when attendance is 80% Hot Wings, I think you can say it's an aggro meta.
I guess, yeah. It's true. That was like, when you go to a tournament, you think to yourself, okay, how am I going to beat Hot Wings? And
yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like, Hot Wings is a deck now that you have to think, okay, cool, can I beat? Mm-hmm. Can I beat X? If the answer is no, cool, go get a new deck.
Pretty much. So, I mean, prospective lists, I guess. I don't know. I want to say Dash is maybe tier. 2. I want to say like 2.5 maybe, because like.
I would say 2.
All right.
Because nothing about this card is bad,
mm-hmm.
except for maybe its flip condition, but we've been into that. And I feel like it wouldn't take an insane amount of tweaking, even right now, to have a good deck list for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't take an insane amount of cards getting printed for this card to just be good too.
Yeah, I mean, as we say,
I mean, like, match it up with purple, and your 0 cost event is flipping for 9.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that way, yeah.
Like that's not bad.
Yeah. If blue control ever does become a thing, then yeah, maybe, right? I expect this card to be one of the ones that makes it happen. So yeah, we'll see. Okay.
I still like this card. I played it in limited, and it was it was so
I
nasty.
have played this card in limited as well, and it's pretty good.
Constructed though,
Yeah.
I'm still not sure on it.
Well,
I haven't even tried it in constructed yet. Is my issue.
Yeah. Well,
I keep thinking I need to try this in a deck, and then I just don't build the deck, and I build something else.
Yeah. Orange is still limited by the fact that people are still just running farming in Orange, and that's
it's kind of similar to sort of Rainbow's issue, where it's like she's outshone by other deck types that everyone else is running. But I still am pretty sure that Ambassador AJ is just better than this.
Yeah. Now,
because that power gain periodically is just snowballs, and then your opponent loses.
I'll admit that as of now, Orange is not just a farming color. There's a control deck.
Yes.
That runs Luna, but it still is a thing. And actually, no, you're right. There was that mod control deck too back at RunnyCon.
Yes.
Yeah. So
because you just got 7 power. Woo.
Yeah. So, but the point still stands that nobody tried Applejack, right? People use Luna and Mon, and
there's options that people are used to, and I'm pretty sure are better, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I still feel like this is a fun card. I like its design. It's very simple, but good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just like Applejack, I guess.
Yeah.
Simple but good.
Nicely flavorful. So I think, sounds like a 3 maybe?
Yeah, 3. She's not Garbo. Like, don't throw her in the bin. That's just mean.
Like the main coming up.
Don't put her in there with the terrible Discord and almost every Pinky ever printed, apparently. Oh, Pinky, you get the real short end of every stick, don't you?
Well, I mean, her mains at least. She's got some excellent friends.
Oh, she's got excellent friends. I mean, on the main stick,
Yeah.
I guess. Because there's Pokey Pony. That's pretty good, but
that one's okay.
And then there's Ambassador. It's kind of okay.
Middling, yeah.
And then everything else is just kind of bad.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Throw it in the bin already. We don't even need to explain it.
Yeah. Let's just move on.
You just don't get enough. Even in limited, my opponents were just like, I'll make a friend. Like, they sat there doing the maths, and it's like, I guess I'm losing this face-off, so I'll make a 1-power friend.
Mm-hmm.
And often, when they're in limited, you're winning a face-off by, 2 or 1. So you don't want to exhaust Pinky to make a friend during said face-off, because, oh no, I lose now.
Yeah, it's strange. Like, in the thing is, like, sure, you get that token. If you can take advantage of that token with, like, a belly flop or something, great. But that's something that you talk about in constructed. And saying like, oh, I'm gonna build my deck around this.
Play a good main.
Yeah. Like Bugle's kind of right that if we break it down to basics, as this is a main that you can expect is probably going to flip, as opposed to Ambassador who can't. Okay, fair enough.
Here is a main that is indestructible 3 power.
Yeah, I mean that's really sort of comparing. Like it's true, that does make it better. But we're having to go down to a pretty simplistic level. So neither one of them is good, quote unquote. But this one is better than that one. Anyway.
So
Ag Studies main. Which
it's cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I mean, it's as I said,
it's very powerful effect. Mm-hmm. Like, wow, that is a powerful effect.
Yeah, I mean, it has purple farming didn't show up in this meta, but it is a deck, and it's not a bad deck, and this card created it basically. So
it's the issue of you actually have to confront a problem.
Yeah,
what?
That's the issue.
I'm playing farming and I have to confront. Ugh. I just want to beat up the villains. Woo.
Or in Twilight's case, give them failing grades.
Again, just runs away crying. I beat them. Aren't I great?
Okay, Bugle,
This is
you make a good point. Purple farming's been around, but I think like this incarnation. I'm gonna say I think that this incarnation is the best it's been. I think, and I mean that's I believe Grandpa's job to show tonight. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Advertisement for Commentary is Magic.
That's all you do.
But yeah, I see no problem throwing Twilight up at 2-2. Honestly, like she's
I'd easily say she's safe on 2.
Yeah, definitely a card that
could that change? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it could go up or down. I feel like just based on what happens.
Definitely has potential to be tier 1 later if she gets a little bit more support, if the meta changes a little bit so that her deck becomes better. Notably, you might also think of her as a control main. I tried that out this year. I mean, she's okay, but not great. So
it's because with her the cards are a bit too open. It's like, so how many action tokens do you have? 3. All right, cool. I need to plan for a +6 buff or removal. Let's go.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like she's so sort of. There's no do they have it. They always have something.
Yeah.
So your opponent's always going to sort of be prepared for something rather than you being able to catch them off guard, say like you could with tricks. You have no action tokens? That kicks you.
Right. It's also worth noting that I played this main a lot in Limited in the set. And most of the games tended to go the same way, honestly. I would throw down a couple of troublemakers, and then, as you say, it kind of turns into a bit of a standoff where I'm just like, I'm just going to stack up my AT. And they're just going to play like all their friends to that problem. And eventually I've got like 20 AT and they've got like 30 power there. And, okay, guess we're going to do this thing and see who wins. Which was fun, certainly. And sometimes I won. But anyway, we said 2-2.
Yeah.
All right, 3 to go.
I want this main to be good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just kind of... All right.
Yeah, I mean, we had it... What was the other when an opponent starts the face-off thing we talked about just today? Was that...
Trixie?
Yeah, Trixie, that's the one, right. In many respects, suffers from the same... Well, at least that constraint is still the same thing and it's still bad, right? Or at least it's still an issue. Like it buttonholes the main into troublemaker control, in essence. And,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Because getting rid of one friend when they do a double face-off usually doesn't do a lot.
Probably not.
Because often when your opponent double face-offs, they're kind of ahead by a fair amount.
Uh-huh.
She was very good in Limited at clinching face-offs, though.
Really?
That was... Yeah, because I played... I did 2 pre-releases. And Rarity was my main for one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many double face-offs that are like, I am ahead by ages. And then you just go, cool, banish your biggest friend, I win. And they're like, oh. Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I can see that.
Even though I sort of lose 3, there was times where it's just like, oh, man, have you made that friend big with something temporarily, etc.? And it's just like, puff. Gone.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like in this meta, there were better control options, right?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, and so that's kind of why.
Heck, I feel like if you're running white control, Chrissy's probably just a better option than this. Could be part of the issue.
Yeah. I mean,
may as well have guaranteed 2 colors and stuff.
Yeah, that is kind of an issue that all controllers kind of face. It's like, okay, I'm in this color. Can I get if there are no mains that are above the curve, generally speaking, it's probably better just to run Chrysalis so that I can get someone else's main, right? And have 2 colors, indeed.
Yeah. And I know, in theory, I should always have a good main.
So, well, maybe you're playing against
Because-
Orange Luna. That's a possibility these days.
Honestly, I've had opponents be like, haha, I bet you're really annoyed about this. I'm like, no, I'm actually quite happy because I know for sure you're going to flip that main at some point.
That is a fair point.
And I'm like, I'm definitely getting 2 colors. And the way I split the piles will be in the plan for the fact that I suddenly have 2 colors every time.
But yeah, I think we throw her at E3 by the sounds of it.
Yeah. She's not terrible, but she doesn't have a deck. And I don't think she ever will, unfortunately. But she's not binnable.
No.
She's not quite.
Oh, no, of course not. I don't think
She's not
anything.
quite like. She's not Pinky.
Right. I was going to say I don't think anything in Defenders is winnable, but then I remembered Pinky. Yes.
Oh god, Pinky. All right,
2 yellows.
yellows.
Fluttershy. I just published
like-
a deck with this.
To be fair, I like both of the yellow mains in this set.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Yeah. Fluttershy is she's effective. She's like
Yes.
and she's shown in limited from what I played. Yeah, like that's definitely a thing. And if you have stuff around that can boost your main's power, whether that be there are a whole bunch of cards that can do it. She gets to like 4 or 5 or something, and then hey, I'm just gonna confront that problem for free. That's okay with you? Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
I love hearing the idea that you build mono orange, but you have Fluttershy as your main.
Yeah.
And you just spin double diamonds, and then you have free power up problems. Things like that.
Yeah.
I kind of like the versatility of this card because it's not a card that really cares about you running yellow. But if you want this kind of effect, you can just have it. Which I think raises its playability a lot in comparison to other decks, say. Just because aggro can quite often...
I mean,
aggro can quite often have just very efficient, no requirement friends anyway.
Yep. Yeah.
Play double diamond and no other orange cards.
Double diamond has one.
Just discard
He has 1 wreck, doesn't he? You have to run something else.
2. He has 2 orange wreck.
Ah, I mean, I assume you're saying you run makeover.
Or you just dump him.
Oh, actually,
whatever.
yeah, that's a good point. Who plays double diamond? Just discard him, right?
Yeah, you just throw him in the bin. Who cares? You don't want to play him as a card. He's just a 2-for-2 with experienced. You want him in the bin to give your main +1, 2, or 3 power.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
It may as well be an event that doesn't do it. It's just like an infinite cost event. Do nothing while this card is in your discard pile.
So yeah, I think like based on all that, Fluttershy is a pretty good bet on 2.
Yes. I could say she can I'd want to say 1.5, but she hasn't got a deck right now, so I wouldn't feel confident saying so.
Yeah. Well, I
feel like this card can very easily bust everything open.
Yeah. Yeah. It's I think, and let's just move on to Thorax here. It's an open question, right? If a yellow deck becomes good, which of those 2 mains will it be? I think it's an open question.
Also, I can't believe Ponyhead still hasn't got his flipping
I
start
don't
image.
think we have a start side image yet.
That is so stupid. Okay. Well, his start is confront a problem. There we go.
Who wants to look at this, old Thorax changeling? It's so beautiful now, right? Anyway, so yeah, this was a card that everyone was super excited about. Everyone, definitely including us. And
hey, I'm still having a lot of fun with it.
All right, okay, fair enough.
In my local meta game, everyone's just like, "What do I even do?" I'm like, "You can play my party of 1 deck. It would just lose. Don't worry, guys. There is solutions. You just don't play them."
Ouch. Oh, that hurts. At least I'm sure it does.
Because yeah, basically,
Well,
I run some pink. I run the odd pink friend, and then literally every yellow and pink card that creates tokens, pretty much.
that sounds pretty good.
I then run 3 food fight, 3 yellow food fight for sort of decks that go a bit bigger. It's really simple. Like I basically made a deck list, edited it once, and it's kind of just the same. I should probably edit it and sort of make it better and better and better till it actually gets good. But honestly, it's just fun as it is, being really simple. where it's all you need to do. Okay, what do you do? You flip Thorax. Okay, then what do you do? Play every yellow card in your deck that makes critters, and then he is just giant.
Mm-hmm.
He's just massive. I've had him on like 12 power, and it's just like, cool. Oh, is that a troublemaker? I will move Thorax there. Has it lost? And it's just...
Yeah, I don't know. I still think Thorax is going to be good eventually, or at least
Yes, he's very easy, completely out of control.
Mm-hmm. But
to control is what I think the issue is.
Yeah, see, that's the issue, right? It's like
because we now have two main effects that just make him go to 3 power.
Yep.
That is Captain Applejack and Party of One.
And Party of One, and both of those. Well, Party of One sees a little bit less play, but
yeah,
Captain Applejack is the other card from the set that everyone was super, super excited about. And
it's so good.
Indeed.
I have 2. I need a third.
Yeah. I would agree with you that you do.
It's so good.
Yeah. So I think we're on 2 again here, probably.
Yeah, it's just, once again, very easy for it to suddenly explode everywhere, but not done it yet.
Yeah. So, finishing off, you mentioned we wanted to talk about the Sands of Time mains. Just as
why not?
prospectus.
We may as well. Just because.
Once upon a time, these mains were supposed to be a thing. And maybe at some point they will still be a thing.
They might. Who knows, honestly. It's Enterplay. They do weird stuff all the time. So what is his flip condition? When you win a face-off, put a time counter on this card. Then if there are at least 5 time counters on this card, remove them, turn it over, and take an extra turn after this.
Yeah, it's like Crystal Game style, but you get a really awesome ability for it.
You get something real worth it.
Mm-hmm. Combo.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It still doesn't feel like... And like, okay, what would you put this? What would your main... Like, what would your deck be if this is your main?
I know that some people have thought about it and done it. I haven't spent enough time thinking about it to really...
Because I'm kind of like, if it's Troublemaker control, what does that extra turn actually do for you?
Nah, pretty much nothing.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, then if it's aggro, are you going to get to 5 counters? Do you want a main that doesn't flip for ages?
I mean, how many face-offs do you do in aggro? You could do... Well, so the thing about aggro, say, for example, is that, like, you'd probably flip him somewhere close to the end of the game, when that extra turn would actually be pretty good.
You just win the game because of it.
Yeah.
But, like, have you not lost the game because your main isn't doing things for you?
That's a possibility.
And that's sort of my issue. It's like, you may as well just play Bluna and win faster than play this and then have an explosive end.
Yeah. Now, the other option, of course, is that you find some amazing combo deck that can work because you get to take 2 turns in a row.
And then you turn him back over and do something crazy.
Yep.
With showdowns or something. Oh man, the card that would have made this card amazing just got banned. Because not only do you do infinite face-offs to try and score infinite points, you can make it so you have infinite turns to do it.
Yeah.
No, obviously you need Twilight to get hard cards in hand for that deck, but shh, I'm being hyperbolic.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like... So, prospectively, say we were doing the rating, like, if this card was in the game, what tier would it be? And I honestly want to say probably 1, then garbage, because I imagine someone would find a combo, it would be amazing, it would get banned, and then the main wouldn't see play anymore.
Something like that, yeah. It would get broken, and then it would be bad again. It would be like that Twilight main. It's like, man, this card has potential, but it's bad.
Yeah.
But if that potential is released, boom, best thing. But yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other Sands of Time main that no one really remembers because everyone's too busy remembering
Doctor Who, because you could actually get physical copies.
Yeah.
The first time a player scores a point each turn, put a time counter on this card. Then if there's at least... So this kind of flips after 5 turns, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because you just need people to score points 5 different times.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, okay, that's not too bad of a flip condition. Pay 3 action tokens, put a friend from hand into play, at end of turn, put it back into your hand.
Right.
That is shenanigansy as heck.
Yeah. So, okay, if I remember correctly...
Okay, you want to know what one of my favorite card would have been with this?
Go ahead.
Bulk Biceps.
Oh. Well, yeah.
Because, you know, rather than having to get himself back, you can just get other things. Because you don't have to dismiss him to recur him.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah. And, of course, since we're paying 3 to put it into play, but don't have to care about getting that pink and white rack, we're just... Oh, yeah, just play it.
Just putting it into play. I don't care that I'm playing mono purple. I have bulk. So I'm trying to think, what's some of the best stuff you can just pay 3 and drop with this?
Knowing that it's...
Spitfire.
Oh, yeah. Knowing that it goes back into your hand self. Yeah.
What else is kind of cute with this? What has really good enter triggers?
Yep. Bugle makes a good point. 3 AT counter attack every turn. End of your turn, too. So you have like some 5, say you have some 5 requirement problem, like say train traditions.
That's gross. I love it. That's a really good one, yeah.
Every turn, we're confronting our train traditions, and you only get to have 1 friend every turn.
Have I blown up the world enough yet? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Other silly cards. Those really... The tricks... The Discord. Cheating Discord in with this. Oh, wait, no. It's when you play this card.
Yeah, no. I think I know what not that one. Yeah, I mean, you want... If you want to go in the same direction as Catajack, so high-cost friends with really good enters play abilities, what are we looking at here?
I guess there's Giant Derpy for just the dismiss. That's a simple one.
You could, actually... You could recur Redeem Discord over and over if you wanted to. And just... It's similar.
Oh, it's when you play this card rather than...
it's when you play. That's right. Crap.
That's what I just said.
Shoot. Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought you were talking about, like... anyway.
But yeah, it's like...
I thought he was talking about a different Discord. I thought you were talking about that which one? That pink and purple one that was part of a combo once upon a time.
That one was funny. Yeah, that one getting errated was fair.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Spoiled. Good point.
Yes, that is like, everything's here now. I'll take this back. Everything's here now. I'll take this back. Sounds really annoying. Yeah, so this card is just like a really weird way to play sort of controlling things and just do annoying things, honestly.
Which, honestly...
Twice annoying pony.
Like, honestly...
it probably end up being some sort of nickname.
Yeah. It's a really cool idea to, like, you know, this kind of... When you look at it, it's a little confusing, but then you see, oh, yeah, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that.
Yeah.
Total total Johnny card, but a pretty good Johnny card.
Yes. It is a fun, sort of combo-y, synergy-based card. I feel like if we really wanted to go through everything, we could probably find a deck list where all you do is wait for Twilight to flip, and then you use her ability, and that's the game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you could build a deck like that around this.
Let's see. You need to score...
You probably have to do something.
Yeah. Well,
you couldn't just wait for it to flip, but you get what I mean, like...
Yeah.
Where a good 50% of your deck could just be friends that you're going to play for 3.
Yeah, I think so. So I think we'd like be setting it like... I imagine maybe a 2 if this was in the game? I don't... Yeah.
I feel like it'd be... I don't know, like, obviously because there's no way of testing this, and I don't think anyone actually will.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as good as the best decks right now, but I feel like it'd be very easy for it to just get ridiculous, which is maybe why they haven't printed it.
It's possible. I mean, who knows, right?
It could just be, oh crud, actually. With design plans we have in general, this card would get way too good.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what I said about Doctor Who. It's kind of like, I certainly wouldn't be surprised if that was the reason. It's like, oh wait, this card is broken and there's no real way that we can fix it, so maybe we'll just dodge the bullet this time.
Just the Captain Jack makes a possibly tier 1.
I mean, that's
fair. That is a safe thing to say.
I mean, like,
it's just
the thing is that, like, our opponent's not going to play into that, right? Like, they know it's there. They're going to wait, do their double in one turn, and like, yeah.
I guess you're going to play purple blue, play on even ground.
Okay, yeah.
And it's just like, okay, cool. You cannot store to make it so that Catajack's good for you.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair point.
Although once Catajack happens once, you need to keep Captain Jack, so you lose your...
Yeah. It's fair. I mean, I feel like that's the kind of... that's the kind of... If that was a thing...
It's the kind of...
Then, hey, everyone's going to start running Rarity and Dream Seized and other stuff. Sorry, when I say Rarity, I mean Soprano.
Yes, hand destruction stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know. I suppose we won't see.
It's easily like a card that could break in 3 seconds, and I have no idea if it would be broken right now, or if the interactions it has is okay, because I can't be asked testing something like this.
Right. Okay. But yeah.
Also, I'm guessing this deck kind of just loses to farming. Because who's going to confront the problem?
Well, see,
you have to do it yourself.
Well, we don't have to confront problems. We have to score points.
Oh yeah, it's score points.
Yeah.
Oh,
so like with farming, them scoring points 5 times, chances are they're at like 10 or 11 points by the time your main flip's over. But if you've got an answer by that point, then maybe you do still manage to claw it back.
I don't know. It's a weird one. I honestly I have no idea. Tier, I don't know.
Question mark. Tier question mark, yeah.
It's just so odd and so unique that I'm just like, I have no idea. Yes, Captain Jack is broken.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So
it's weird.
That takes us to the end of our tier list.
Yes.
And with us having been on the air for about 2 hours, it's probably going to take us near the end of the stream. However, I do have an announcement, or we do. And that is, for those of you who haven't heard, well, at the start of Defenders of Equestrian, slightly before it, we had an OCR review stream that we hope not to have to repeat again soon, but it was an experience.
It was, 3.5 hours long?
Something like that, yeah. And so it's been my intention to eventually go back and do what you might call a review stream, where we sort of compare our predictions versus the actual reality of what happened. I think we're going to be doing that next stream, from what I've been able to think. And my original intention was that we would compare Solving's predictions versus mine, and bragging rights would be on the line, right? And I was kind of a little afraid of that, because I think you probably did better than me on a number of...
Really? Sweet. I had faith in loads of cards that did terrible.
Well, see, we were both wrong about yellow to a degree.
Yeah, that was
like you.
Correct. Why?
I think you rated Vapor Trail higher than me, which is a point for you. You rated Vicious Vengeance higher than me, which was a point for you. It's tough, but my saving grace on this point. We had a little discussion with the Commentaries Magic people a little while back, who also did a review stream and talked about the various cards, and it's been decided that instead we're going to average out our ratings and average out theirs and do the comparison that way instead. You're there in the stream, Bugle. I don't know if you've been told about this yet. I hope maybe you have. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do 2 weeks from now. Kind of the Meticulous talks versus commentaries magic for all the marbles. Who was right? Who was wrong about the set? And just to kind of sweeten the deal. Sorry, you had something to say?
I'm just like, I hope we win.
Oh, certainly. I hope that we win. Yeah, there was. I mean, I've compiled the numbers, and there were certainly some cards that they were pretty wrong about. So we'll see. But anyway, just to kind of sweeten the deal, it's been agreed that there will be a wager placed upon the results. Right now, I
didn't agree to this, so you're paying
I know.
if we lose.
I'm paying it. That's fine. That's fine. Basically, the loser of the stream is going to give away some cards. We haven't worked out exactly what the pool is, but like I've been doing my card inventory, and I've got a few ultra rares that I would be willing to part with. If
Are they good?
let's see. I've got well, I'm thinking like a Bluna probably. That card's good, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Changeling Pretender that I'm willing to part with as well. I can. What was it? I had another ultra rare. I have a Lasso Champion that I'm willing to give away. I have.
Can I win that one?
I don't know. We haven't worked out exactly yet what. I imagine we'll be barred from entering the draw, but.
Oh, of course. It was a joke.
Yeah. That one. I think I had another one that I was willing to go with. That was also kind of goodish. Well, we'll leave it there for now, and we'll see. I mean, I haven't talked to Grandpa's yet about precisely what the stakes are from him yet, but it'll be something. And so keep that in mind, everyone. 2 weeks from now will be the review. And so the way that we're going to do it is, like I said, we're going to average out Commentary's Magic scores, average out our scores. I'm also going to compile a sort of real rating based on the meta frequency that I posted to Reddit a little while ago. And then for each card, we'll take a delta score, which is like how far each one of us was off of the real score. And by the end of the set, whoever had the lowest delta wins.
So we're playing prediction golf.
Basically, yes.
Par.
Well, I think. Well, as I said, I haven't run the numbers yet, so I don't know who wins yet, and I will have to.
No spoilers. Like, no telling me beforehand. I'm going to find out on the stream.
All right, fair enough.
For sure.
Like
that's how I'm doing it.
I will have to run the numbers before the stream because I have to make the slides up, but I won't tell anybody. I'll tell you that much.
Because you can't. Proactive math. Doing all of the maths while we're talking about it.
Yeah, that would be interesting. So yeah, just put that out there. I'll be definitely putting a post up to Reddit about it. We hope that in the future this will be kind of an event, so to speak, maybe. And with the stakes on the line, maybe we'll all get better at predicting cards, right? That's the hope.
I just feel like if we have this in mind in the future.
Yeah. See, that was kind of the
Will
thing.
we do separate ratings, or will we do a collective rating for the competition?
I mean, it's. I think.
Or will we give our personal ratings, and what we want to give it for the competition as well? So we sort of do a collective 3-way ratings.
I don't know. I think like the whole point is that your individual rating should be as close to the real rating anyway, right? I think the way that we did it, just you saying, yeah, I think this card's a 4, and etc. And we average that out, and that's how it is.
What if we have I think it's 5 and you think it's 2?
Then we take the average of that. I mean, I think there were cards where that was the thing, right? Like
Limestone.
I think
my fave.
My
fave.
I gave that
I've
a
been
4.
playing it and I adore it.
I think it was me giving Raptor Razor a 5 and you gave it like a 3 or something. That would be the one. Which I'm still willing to defend that rating, honestly. Notwithstanding that the card was definitely not a 5, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, just throwing that out there. Like I said, be there 2 weeks from now. We'll see who comes out on top. So, with that being said, I think that concludes our stream today.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you all for watching. Our VOD's going to be uploaded to YouTube shortly after we're done. And besides that, I've been Chris, of course.
I've been solving problems.
And see you all soon.
See ya.